Okay, so glad to be here at Curve, live, in person, and presenting. And so I'm usually here with my partner in crime, Kristen Classy Zuma, but unfortunately she got sick over the weekend. So I'm going to muddle through a couple of her upfront slides, and then we'll get into, and the purpose for her is really to frame up what's happening in women's apparel, and then I'm going to dig deeper into intimate apparel. So we really kind of talk about this. Okay, it's not advancing on the PC. Oh, there we go. There we go. Um, okay. So this year is really, it's been the year of the comeback. And with the highly anticipated return of Sex and the City and series, and just like that, love it or hate it, this series gained a lot of buzz. And I, for one, and Kristen, for one, absolutely adored this show. And the other thing is low-rise jeans are coming back. And although thankfully we're not seeing this in our data, it hasn't reached critical mass. Some of us really would hope that that trend stays in the 2000s. And of course, we're back at Curve. And again, we're really excited to be here live. It's been 2 years since we've been live. We've done some presentations over Zoom, but it's not the same of being at Jacob Javits Center. So we're really excited. And Curve isn't the only comeback kid. Actually, many industries have really come back during the pandemic, and we're very lucky that we work in apparel because apparel has been a fantastic business. Apparel, beauty, accessories, and footwear all drove growth in retail. And the shift signaled a return to normalcy as many of us got out again and returned to some of our pre-pandemic behaviors. We know that experiences are closely tied to those industries like apparel, beauty, accessories, and footwear. And once she got back out there, she was ready to spend on these categories that made her look great and feel great. And the industry led this way, and it really was growth in apparel of all these soft lines industries. And in fact, in 2021, apparel grew 33% versus 2020 and reached $246 billion worth of sales. And this growth equated to an additional $65 billion, and these gains made up for almost half of the losses in 2020. Now the question is, what is really the driver behind these apparel spend this past year? And we're really talking about it in terms of next level growth, and that's definitely the case in intimate apparel. We know that consumers returned to some pre-pandemic activities this past spring and summer, but we want to understand the reasoning behind their spend. Was it new styles? Was it them wanting to dress up? And what we found is that 61% of consumers told us they needed a new wardrobe. There was a collective wardrobe refresh that took place as we headed back to our social occasions, travel, work, and school. And there are different apparel needs that are driving consumers to spend. The number one reason consumers told us they needed to update their wardrobe was because their old clothes were worn out. They needed new clothes. If you think about it, if you've been wearing a limited wardrobe while at home, as a result, and I know I have worn sweatshirts and shorts for the entire 2 years, we are wearing these items out faster, and so we actually need to replenish them. And any businesses with replenishment tend to do very well in times like this. Many of us are a different size than before. 30% of men and 40% of women reported being a different size than pre-pandemic. So they're getting ready to head out for that great social occasion, and oops, that blazer's a little too tight. So it's interesting. And again, she's reemerging. She's going out to more social occasions. So that's a reason to buy. Or she feels that her clothes are outdated and not reflective of what she wants to wear right now. And this is really driving a need for a wardrobe refresh. So we're seeing kind of a convergence of different needs happening at all time. And this is something that we've never seen before. And this is really what's causing that next level growth. So, boom. And we're going to dig a little deeper into the total women's apparel classes. These are the top 12 apparel classes in women's apparel. And on the right is you have growth and decline versus 2019. And looking at the categories that are declining, they're highlighting a clear shift in how we're dressing. Dresses, woven shirts, outerwear, and sweaters are all in decline. Well, actually, dresses in spring have taken off. But more casual and basic categories like bras, denim, and sleep grew. In fact, 2021, women's active categories represented 65% of the growth apparel experienced this year. Women's activewear, of which sports bras and intimate apparel is a big part of that, had a record year. And again, this makes sense kind of as less of us want to get dressed up. Now, we've been asking this question of our consumers, and we talk to over 3 million consumers every year. And we asked them, are you missing getting dressed up? And in September 2020, over half said yes, while a third said no. And we just re-asked this question in January, and the responses have shifted by 10% towards casualization. 44% of consumers miss getting dressed up, while 43% don't. And this continual casualization won't mean sweatpants forever. Her new definition of casualization really could be pairing a straight-leg jean with her favorite long-line ribbed cotton sports bra. That's why understanding what's happening in apparel is so important to the intimates industry. So now we're going to talk about intimates. And we're really excited because last time we were talking, we said there was glimmers of hope in this industry, that the industry really looked like it was turning around. But this 2021 was an all-out success story. And let's kind of see why I'm so excited about intimate apparel. And this is like my favorite time of the year because I get to talk to a bunch of brands and clients and retailers and people at trade shows about the intimate apparel business. And it really is next level growth. Intimate apparel, including sleep, added $4.8 billion worth of sales. That is amazing growth for an industry that is considered generally a mature one. And again, I'm just going to show this chart just to sort of highlight, here's the top apparel classes, but here's how the intimate categories fared. Bras, big growth. Sleepwear actually had the most growth of all the intimate categories. And again, panties, based on that replenishment cycle, is booming. And you know, those of you who work with us, we always do these sort of year-end reviews out of what happened in the marketplace. And when we look at the past year, we see some common themes around legacy brands, new DTC brands, and retailers alike. And it's really about capturing the momentum in intimates and driving next level growth. From Third Love, Adore Me, and Bompus getting into new categories or geographies, tapping into those adjacent power comfort categories like sport and sleep and lounge, or Bompus expanding into the UK. Or let's look at Spanx, Parade, and Savage Fenty. And we're so happy that Savage Fenty's opening a store in Brooklyn. We're going to be able to see it. So going for growth in new partnerships or expanding their physical retail footprint. These growth brands are getting stronger, all focusing on their unique consumer segment. At the designer level, CK expands its footprint and goes into a retailer that can capture more audience, launching at Kohl's in the same stores as the Sephora launch stores. So again, a very strategic way of expanding their distribution. Skims going upmarket, collaborating with Fendi, amazing. Just amazing. And this really shows the breadth of growth opportunity that is available in the intimates business and why, you know, we're seeing it in the data and we're just so bullish. And, you know, I think we're very lucky because the intimate industry totally understands the opportunity that is extended sizes. And I would actually put us at the forefront of showcasing diverse bodies, skin tones, and the plus size consumer. Old Navy being that always affordable apparel retailer, decided to take it to the next level and make available all styles in extended sizes, not upcharge her, and also allow that plus consumer to shop with her friends, not relegate her to the woman department that she has to shop in so many department stores. And now, that just wasn't virtuous marketing. Old Navy knew this consumer was underserved. We just looked at the data, and in 2021, plus size apparel grew 2.5 times faster than women's apparel. So this just makes very good business sense. And again, I know everyone in this show understands the power of serving that consumer. The Parade brand put a pop-up store in Soho, so we were, of course we had to visit it, and we were just blown away by the super fun, high impact environment that completely transformed the consumer into the Parade branded experience. And they're kind of true in making their mantra of ultra soft basics that have unreal comfort with inclusive sizing, strong body positivity messaging and model selection and marketing, sustainable fabrics, and doing social good because you can recycle your products there as well. And that's a great mission to have and completely aligns with that younger consumer. And we think of Parade as the younger, funner, more affordable Skims because Parade panties are around $9 and the Skims are around $20. So again, it's much more affordable, much more approachable. So when we look back at everything in 21, and we've actually just finished doing our forecast for 22, 23, and 24, there's really 6 drivers for growth. And this is something that we've started to do last year, and just our clients really tend to like this. And so if I have one message for you, this is a growth category, and there are multiple pathways to evolve and grow. And while brands may be achieving growth by entering new channels, adjacent categories, pop-ups, or sort of influencer collaborations, it's even more important to remember to flex your innovation pillars. And I always think of innovation in 3 ways. And I've got a new innovation one, so it's really 4 innovation pillars. When I was in merchandising, I was always taught that there are three key innovations. It either lifts, it smooths, or it's comfortable. And about 90% of bras can fit into one of those categories. But given the rise that new generations desire their lingerie to be much more about personal expression, I would add that sexy and pretty lingerie is also an innovation and growth pathway. Even with VS toning down their sort of sexiness, this is a key driver for younger consumers, Gen Z and Gen Y women and girls. Again, this industry knows comfort, and to the consumer, comfort is really self-care. Comfort has evolved to be part of all categories in innerwear, and it continues to evolve. And it's really about becoming that +1. So it's about that bralette with ultra lightweight bonded fabric. It's a lounge bra with cooling and wicking and active benefits. It's designer bras with ultra luxe fabric, beautiful lace, and again, soft construction. And again, we see comfort really meeting the consumer where she is, if it's lounge from home, work out from home, or going out. And again, even date night bras are getting a little bit more comfortable with softer support and push-up options. This is something that Kristen and I talk to our clients about all the time, but again, we feel really proud to work in this industry because Intimates does lead the way in terms of really talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And again, intimate apparel really connects more inclusively and intimately just because of the type of product that it is. And brands that are winning are really understanding her value and lifestyle. And she wants to feel sexy, she wants to feel authentic, she wants to feel comfortable, and sometimes she wants to feel those things all at the same time. And she's diverse, she's far from monolithic, and she wants to shop her values. And we actually have 3 examples of retailers all aligning with their consumer in very unique ways, and we love talking about them because they are so unique. Again, the original Aerie Real campaign, it's all about empowering young women with no retouching, all that kind of stuff. The comeback hit is really VS Collective, with Victoria's Secret modernizing its perspective on empowering women. We're going to talk a little bit more about what they're doing later. And then Soma. And they deliver product and an in-store experience that never forgets to make their Gen X and Boomer customer feel extra special. And I've got some news on the Boomer. She's shopping. We'll share some interesting insights there. And again, these three retailers really connect with their consumers, unique points of view, all very successfully. So it's pretty cool. And pricing power. This industry really is structurally quite healthy. Throughout fall 2021, we saw dollars, units, and average price all grow in this marketplace, particularly in the bra and panty market. Using some of our newest analytical tools in NPD's pricing toolbox, we see some interesting insights into the points to the health of this industry and the pricing power that this bra category has now and will have in the future. Our latest analysis demonstrates that more bras were sold at regular price and those bras sold at higher price points. Less bras were sold on promotion and the promotions were actually smaller. So again, the customer is voting with higher prices, which is incredibly important. And this pricing is probably the #1 topic on all of our clients' minds right now. And the truth is, you may be leaving money on the table because the customer is responding to higher prices. And then the wow of wire-free. So I always like to announce my biases. I got my merchandising chops at Warner's. Warner's is a wire-free brand, so I always knew the power of wire-free. But when I started, it was like 28% of the marketplace. It is now 51% of the marketplace. And that is really a sea change preference for the comfort-driven and coverage support that wire-free can deliver. And again, looking at new innovation, there's more hybrid construction that delivers soft, flexible, and supportive innerwear and provides the shaping, lift, and support she needs. And again, it's that comfortable, flexible, fit-forgiving fit of wire-free that she loves, absolutely. And then boomers are booming. While Gen X and Gen Y are the largest cohorts and the sexiest cohorts to go after, boomers are driving growth. In fact, boomers represent 21% of Intimate's purchases and gain 3.7 share points. That's truly significant, and I've got a data chart to show you that a little later. And why is this? Well, we've actually noticed, at NPD, we track over 20 different industries, from technology to home to food to apparel, beauty, and footwear. And the truth is, in almost all of the industries, boomers are driving spend. They have the financial resources and the freedom in terms of family life stage to be out there enjoying life. When consumers have more freedom, they do more. And doing more provides more usage occasions for more Intimates purchases. It's all about creating product that aligns with their needs to socialize with family and friends, go out for date night, and be the star at those special life stage events like weddings and milestone celebrations. And my colleague Michelle, she was just on her vacation with her teenage kids who are grown up, and she could have a fun vacation because they were. So again, it's that life stage that's so important. So this is a chart that I show at every presentation. It is, and this is different than it usually is. This is usually a very flat chart. All the categories are sort of very stable. There's no growth. It's up 1, down 2, down 1, up 2. Very, very mature business. And I talk about the fact that it's all about stealing market share. Well, it's still about stealing market share, but the truth is, Intimates drove an additional $2 billion of sales in fall. And sales went up in bras, sales went up in panties, and of course, sports bras and sleep. And this next level growth, we think is going to continue into 2022. While January was a little bit of a roller coaster and everyone got a little nervous because inventories were low, innovation had been delayed, the truth is we have what we call the early indicator sales, and we actually get sales weekly from our retailer footprint. And February is doing much better than we thought. So again, fingers crossed for 22. And here's this great chart about the power of boomers. again, we love to understand sort of what age segments are driving growth in the good times. And well, again, we hear a lot about Gen Z and Gen Y and Gen X, actually. The boomer is really driving some of this next level growth. While not the largest, again, 3.7 share points is a big gain. So where does she shop? Well, her top 4 retailers are Kohl's, VS, Walmart, and Amazon. And Kohl's makes complete sense because it has a vast assortment of legacy brands and styles and great sales. And again, she loves a deal. Then VS, which might kind of surprise you, but the truth is when you think of it, in the glory days of VS with the Apex, with the Body by Victoria, that customer was actually their core consumer. So they've kept her along the way, which is really interesting. And then Amazon and Walmart. Again, everyone shops at Amazon and Walmart. Amazon in particular because it's so easy to replenish your favorite styles. In 1 or 2 clicks, it's in your home at 24 to 48 hours based on where you live in the country. So that replenishment factor really plays into Amazon. Whoops, oh, I'm just gonna go back. Whoops. And the other thing that's interesting is this boomer customer shops online. Boomers spent 35% of their purchases online. And what happened was, and again, this sounds kind of silly, but it really played out because we could sort of see it in our data. She first went to grocery. She shopped online for grocery, got really comfortable with the ease and safety that grocery shopping online had, and then she moved over to all her other purchases. So the boomer consumer is actually shopping more online than other groups. And you know, we kind of like to understand the evolution of online shopping, and particularly in the intimate space. And a few years back, it was 25% penetration online. 1 in 4 bras were sold online. Well, in prime pandemic timeframe, that went up to almost 50%, and now it's settled back to about 33%. So again, one of the things, again, that drives us crazy at NPD is when we hear this prophecy that stores are dead. No, they are not. Again, 66% of people are shopping in stores, and again, and stores will just become more and more important. And, you know, we kind of like to look at sort of, you know, when sales are doing well, what are the attributes that are really resonating with consumers? And so we took a look at a couple of attributes, and we saw some surprises and some interesting stuff. So we saw that full lace and push-up were up, and push-up was actually up 4%. And we also noticed that smoothing was up 14%. And again, smoothing is all kind of related to date night because, again, she wants a lace bra, she wants a pretty bra, she wants a push-up bra to give her the great shape, but she also wants smoothing because it helps her with that sort of COVID 10 or 15. And again, it's no surprise that the #1 bra in America is the Warner's Easy Does It bralette with back smoothing. And so we saw this sort of lace and push-up trending. So we also took a look at our checkout tracking data and noticed that Adore Me and Cacique were actually performing very, very well. And so these were one of the 2 biggest growth brands in the digital space. So what we did is we looked at what's online and how they were merchandised, and we definitely saw a lot prettier bra. We saw pretty laces and fabrics and colors, 3-piece cups and lingerie sets. Really perfect for that date night or that sensual self-care expression moment. Great to see that both pretty and comfortable can peacefully coexist in growth and thrive in our industry. That's really good news. And so, speaking of leaders in pretty and sexy, we always want to talk about sort of what's happening in the marketplace. And Victoria's Secret is really the comeback kid. So we do these timelines. Our clients tend to like them. And you know, again, lots of good things are happening. They're going to remodel 1,400 stores. They launched maternity. That's a big deal. I mean, and they have a baby in an ad. That's like, you know, a real shift. And again, PINK, particularly their PINK brand, is really committed to size inclusivity and body positivity. And then they're open to partnering with new brands that may fill a void in their assortment, with Mind, which is focusing on that D+ consumer. Again, that VS Collective is this ever-evolving collective of really powerful, smart women. And so they've added Naomi Osaka to join the VS Collective. And again, she's a world-seeded tennis player, but also she is passionate about Black Lives Matter. So it's really, really, really important. And again, their results are improving. And part of that turnaround story is their change in visual communication. And here we see some new takes. Again, I'm a baby in a Victoria's Secret ad. That's just and a redhead probably might be diverse for them. So again, great things. And what I like to see is this sort of, I'm a big fan of feature benefit marketing communication, and so this ad for Mind just really makes me happy. Again, Victoria's Secret has always been an innovator. They've kind of got a little sleepy, but we're really counting on them. We think they're going to be the comeback kid. So I'm almost done. I'm just going to give you a little snippet on sleepwear because it was such a great category. And again, up 29% versus last year, up 45% 2 years ago. Units are up 22, and we always think of units as a proxy for a demand as consumers. And then again, the AURs are up. Not as much as some of the other categories, but very interesting. And then again, interesting to note sort of what generations are shopping sleep. And again, boomers and the silent generation are actually growing the most. And again, because you'd think it's all lounge and all younger consumers, but again, that boomer consumer is shopping. So it's really kind of exciting. And then just another shout out to Old Navy. They did like an amazing job of their family pajamas, incredible merchandising, size inclusivity, and they double merchandise it with lounge and sleep. And again, we just think they did a fantastic job. So that is the end of our chat today. Again, there's so much opportunity in this industry. There's multiple pathways to grow, and just understanding your consumer and understanding what consumer segments are growing is so important. And I think we have time for some questions, but if you have any other questions after the show, Michelle, Chris here can sort of help you out as well. But it's great to meet you guys. Any questions? Yeah. So Shape, the question was, how is shapewear faring? And so we are noticing it was one of the slowest categories to recover, based that it's sort of an event-based purchase. But what's really interesting is, in terms of units, it's actually recovered. But what's happening is there's more options in lower priced channels because mass is doing a really, really good job of shapewear. So the units have recovered, but the dollar volume is still a little bit under. But again, the fact that units have recovered is very good news. More questions? Sure. Yeah, so again, sport bras were one of the hottest categories next to sleep. It was the sports bras, I believe, grew over 40%. And there again, the customer has more choice at lower prices. So ASPs did not grow in sport bras and active, but it's a very, very healthy category. And we actually have a ton of really great information on activewear if you ever need it. So Michelle can help you out. Okay, well, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys attending our little show, and we'll see you next year.